Dit is Housekeeper Awesome Jeff.
Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Inside Scoop with Alex and Jeff. I am Alex Dingman.
I am Jeff Dawes. Let's do this, guys. How are all my insiders? Let us know who is watching. We are going to have a great show, as always. But today's going to be a big show because we just had a very big martial arts tournament with lots of great news, great, exciting, things that happened, some great feats, some great wins. And of course, there's a little bit of drama. We always love the drama a little bit.
Always something.
But yeah, I mean, it's going to be a great show. Thank you guys for tuning in. Let us know who's watching and who you're watching with, and tag someone that you want to watch with you. All right.
Let's see where you guys are at.
Yes. Let us know where you're from, what you're doing. So again, I was there at Ocean States. I was competing the whole weekend, coaching, doing a lot of private lessons, judging a little bit, and then also competing on stage in the finals. So lots going on, man. All right. So I want to let you guys all know what we're going to be doing today. So we'll be talking about the show, talking about the event, Ocean State Grand Nationals, which put on by Don and Christine Rodriguez. We've been a part of this event the past 3 years, and very excited to
Glad to be there.
And they're just a great group that supports the sport well and does whatever they can to make everybody as happy as possible. And so overall, it was a great event. Will, greetings. How you doing, my friend? Good to see you this weekend. And then also, guys, overall, I tell you, I think it just kept growing. The event did. I know that the excitement, for the open weight was huge. Okay. But then also the excitement for the regular divisions, like just the talent that was there, seeing everyone. Big shout out to everyone from Canada, because man, there were a lot of Canadians.
They were representing.
They were. And so it was really a cool thing to see. For me, again, like I said, I did a lot over the weekend. I didn't do as many divisions as I normally do, but I think I had 11 private lessons that weekend. Also, coaching.
That's ridiculous.
All over the place. So it was a lot of fun. Yeah, senior fighting was fire. I'm going to share some of that as well.
That was intense. So wait a minute. So you did 11 lessons.
Yeah.
And they're for an hour a piece, or is
No.
any of them more or less?
No. It was a good amount of them were half hour. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. An hour before a tournament. I mean, I think I did one that was like that with two people at a martial arts school. So 2 young girls. And that was the first time that I worked with them. But most of the other ones are people that I've trained with in the past. So we do a half hour because
So you spent like 5-6 hours just doing lessons.
Yeah.
That's a lot. Man.
Right. There were
When
some
you're there
right
to compete, and you're competing as much as you do. Like, that's a lot.
Right. Yeah. It's just, hey man, it's part of it. But I'm enjoying the teaching part. I'm enjoying, like I said, I only did 2 divisions this weekend. So, and honestly, it felt great. Seeing Ross, he was like, I'm glad to hear that. He's been telling me I need to chill out a little bit with so many things. It was a good weekend, for me, and for that. I wanted to run down just the order of what we're going to do. So at 9:30, we're going to bring on the women's open weight winner, Savannah. And I'm going to let her say her name so I don't mess it up. Yeah. Check out the
worked up. Like, what's he going to say?
Check out the new shirt, Brett Shumway. I figured I want to wear it the traditional way. If you guys are not watching,
That's a cool one.
make sure you check out the podcast, one of our main network podcasts, Traditional Way. He was out there. I was out there. Angel Diaz was out there. So again, if you guys are not checking out Fist Kicks and Flicks, check that out. That comes out usually on Wednesdays. Ours comes out on Tuesdays. Brett Shumway's comes out every other week. I know he's probably going to talk a little bit about this. And there was so much going on in the traditional karate world this weekend as well. So many great things that are happening. Yeah, so awesome. All right. Oh, one more thing. Hold on. Top five. We're going to talk as well about the top 5 back fist of all time. Okay.
This is hard. This is like
this is a very hard one. Okay. So
I mean, this is up there with sidekicks, like with what we did. I mean, I think about our sidekick one, and I'm like, we could go back and talk about that one again. But yeah, top 5 back fists, like, and that's the thing is like everybody can back fist. Everybody does a back fist.
Correct.
Likely the first day you started martial arts, you probably learned a back fist.
Right.
You know?
Exactly.
Except now we're seeing guys do it like at such a high level. And I'm going to talk about some guys who saw this weekend too.
Oh, yeah.
So,
well, this is what I want to do first. So let's talk about something I'm going to talk a little bit on Friday. Then we're going to go to that. Then we're going to get back to some of our forms and weapons stuff that happened.
cool.
And then around that time, we'll talk about some of the big news and everything that people were talking about. And we'll do that when Savannah gets on because she was a part of all that.
She was a part of it. She's got input.
Putting it in now. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's one as well. All right. So for me, this was one of the biggest things that I saw on Friday night. The El Java comeback. All right. So
that
senior team fighting was insane. It was wild. It was crazy. I'm sure we will talk as well about that ring when we get into some of our talk about judging. It was just, it was rough, right? There was, I'm just saying, it was an intense ring. And it got lively and wild and some late hits here and there, some yelling, some discussion, but it was all fun, right? All I know is here's the deal. The final fight for the men's team was a K-Talk team that had Pablo, Akin Williams, and El Java, right? Then you had an ATL team that had Willie Hicks, Jeremiah Wiggins, and Willie Marshall. All right, so this was intense. Okay, yes, great job, Coach Gorham. She did a great job with her team. So the first two in, and Willie and Jamad, they have like a 22-1 lead. Okay, and so
by the way, that's a great team.
Too. Yes, and, that's a great team.
Willie's never looked like, dang, Willie, what's wrong with you? Never ever. He just if he's not winning it, it's usually because he just got injured. You know,
right?
If he's not deep or just making like heads turn, he just got dinged up and couldn't continue. Right. So he was looking good.
Yeah, he was looking good. Jamad continues to keep staying in the game, looking good, winning his division.
Hips. I don't understand them. You know what I mean? Well, because like I'm still like I'm trying. I just have to acknowledge like I can't do what I could. I am trying. But that's the thing is with kickers, you can. Like if you to be like, Alex, go do that thing. I'm like, I will do it right now. No problem. Yeah. And it doesn't matter what the kick is. I can do any one of them. You're like, do that right now. I will do every single one of them and I'll make it look amazing. But it's in the throes of it. And it's like the little things like, can that chamber, if that chamber is sitting below the shoulder, right? Or does it drop? Or can it always lift? Or can you cover ground? Can you pop backwards? All the tiny little minute details. And you have to, if you're going to be a great kicker, you have to get all of them right. Not just
Correct.
like you got a few of them. You have to get all of them right. Otherwise, you get exposed.
Correct.
I don't
Yeah.
get it. He's in his
I mean,
40s, isn't he?
I even got that today too, as far as like I posted a video of me doing a form from 2009 when I was doing like my knee kicks in a circle forward and backwards.
You ain't gonna
And
do that
people
no
were like,
more.
"Yeah, you need to do this again," And I'm like, "Yo, I was 25." Right?
But that's the thing. If someone was like,
But
Jeff,
could I do it? Yes.
do it right now, and you'd be
I
like,
would-
okay, yeah, I could do that. But could you do that at the speed you did it then, and then still make the rest of the form look the same?
Right.
That's a whole nother challenge, right?
Yeah. So we'll see how all that works, right?
It's not the move. But anyway,
So anyway,
drawn
goes-
out
El
segue
Java
from
comes in, right? El Java comes in and it's just like, hey, just go out there and be El Java, right? And in 2 minutes,
I would love to know
he brings
what
it back.
what the conversation was before he got in that ring. I would love to know.
He was sharing it with me, okay, like Akin and him
this is-
talking, and it was just just
Okay.
like go out and be Java, like go out and be Java. So he went out there, and then I forgot what it says. I think Willie said something to him, right? And
What do you say?
I don't remember. I just know that Willie said something to him, and I think that kind of sparked him to get a little lively, right? All right. And
Okay.
so he comes in, and in 2 minutes, he scores 23, 24 points. All right.
Yeah.
With all reverse punches, body punch.
That's the thing is there's not like I wonder how he did it. Like, of course you know how he did it.
Right.
He doesn't have 4 different ways where he's gonna bring back 20 points. He's gonna bring it back one of a couple ways, pretty much one.
And it was wild. And the whole crowd started it kept getting louder and louder and louder and louder and louder. It was all hands, man. It was amazing.
Oh,
So
it was all hand.
yeah, all hand. So, man, and I tell you, that was one of the coolest things. And for everyone to get hyped about that, because again, we've talked about it so many times, right? That the seniors don't get the love as much, But I tell you, that was a cool moment, right? And you know what though, like even though the next day, all the senior competitors, the grands, everything we have is over in that side room. But this year it felt like there was a lot more people in there, like wanting to be there and support it and watch it, right? And really, really support it. Like last year when we were doing our grand championship in that room, it was literally 10 people in there. You could hear a pin drop. It was crazy. This time it was packed. There was the fighting going on at the same time. There was, people were able to get there and cheer on. It was a lot better this year on that. So I don't know how it worked out to be better, but it worked out a lot better this time.
I would be curious to hear, like, if the senior competitors, do they really want to be in the finals? Do they always want to be included in the finals? Or, and I think this might be the actual answer, is it just that, like, where they are positioned, like you just said, like, oh, we're in the corner?
Yeah.
Is it that they'd actually rather not be in the finals, but they're sick and tired of always being put in the corner, but
Correct.
watching the 12 to 13-year-old girls musical form being like on a stage and being like, let me see if we can put this into perspective. That's my freaking student.
Right. So the energy was just so much better this year. It was awesome. The great job to the judges that were over there in that ring. Terry Kramer always gets that room. Richie Everidge did a great job on that room and controlling some situations that probably could have got out of hand. It was actually hilarious seeing him and Mike Conroy, back and forth at each other. It was a great to see, but he did a great job on that.
Which we got more Conroy things to talk about later in the show too.
But the other thing though, that senior room was more for the men, right? The women were in one room by themselves. Okay. So that sucks as well, right? I wish all of us were in together. I understand how it should be, but
it's hard with that tournament because of that space.
Right. I know in the past, there used to be two rings in that rotunda, but now they just have one. And honestly, that Rotunda area creates a lot of cool moments for those junior runoffs. But
Yeah.
this year, what they did, they put the adult men for CMX on Friday in that room, and there was a lot of good energy in that too. So it was pretty cool. Instead of being on stage, they say, you know what? In the past, they've done that on stage, but they hadn't been able to start it till like 7 or 8 or even later because of how big team fighting and open weight and everything has been, right? So
Right.
I think some things changed. I really think Friday ran smooth and fast. Saturday, everything was done by 3:00. So the tournament continues just to improve and get better. Are there some things that we can improve? Yes, of course. I don't think it's necessarily just this tournament. I think it's overall a sport, thing that we can improve on. So when we talk about stuff like that, it's not us picking on a certain tournament. It's actually us looking at ways to improve the sport,
Right.
So yeah. So again, congrats to El Java, congrats to K-Tot, but also to ATL as well for making it to that spot. There was several senior teams this weekend, so I thought that was cool. A lot of times you don't see as many for that, and so the energy for that was amazing.
Well, and even then, like if you were to just say like ATL, like if you didn't really know what happened, and if Java didn't just catch fire, you'd be like ATL won, and this was the team. You'd be like, oh yeah, well that totally makes sense, right?
Right.
Yeah, you could look at that and be like, okay, yeah, sure, but that's why the fights have to actually play out.
Yeah,
that's why the fights have to happen. That's why sometimes when like you're picking like a 3-man team fight, and both sides can actually want the matchups that they got, you don't know, man. All right.
Right.
You got to let the fights play out. But to the conversation about Java, this is just like I sent you in that group text. Java's a freaking vampire. All right.
Yeah.
He's a vampire. All right. I'm just going to call it how it is. This guy refuses to age. He was fighting like that. He and I fought each other, I think, a couple times in like 2016. Right. And he don't look any different. Right.
Oh,
Don't look any different. That was 9 dang years ago. What?
Right.
Like it doesn't make sense.
Correct.
So
I agree.
Congratulations to you, my friend.
There were a lot of guys that I saw this weekend that didn't change. I mean, I get that all the time too, but yeah, it's hilarious, man. I tell you, it's great to see different people at this event. Got to see Joey Greenhall, got to see and he was DJing, of course, for the finals. Got to see Diego Lopez, Joe Rivera, lots of great Team Metro legends out there. Of course, Mike Conroy. We'll of course talk more about him. There is, man, who other names that people Rich Everidge was out there watching and supporting Brett. Yeah, of course, he's got a lot of talent in his family there, Brett. You're right.
Joey Shiflett's still fighting?
Yes, Joey Shiflett was there. He was fighting. He drove all the way up from South Carolina, and dude, he was a blast as well to see and to hang out. He was excited to be out there. Richard Osborne Sr. was out there for the first time in many years. So
I feel like somebody said that like when I was like my like adult career was just starting, and someone probably said like,
actually, I had his first
Joey
fight.
Shiflett's still fighting. Like when I started my adult career.
Right. Yeah. When I was 18, I had his first fight back when he took a break for like 8 years or whatever. And he was like, "Oh, who's this? That's Joey Shiflett? Okay." Like I haven't seen him around. I had it, yeah, it was wild.
And 116 years later, he's still fighting.
There's one. Rocky DeRico was there and competing 70 plus.
Stop. What?
Yes.
This thing is a 70 plus. Rocky DeRico, dude. People don't understand. Rocky DeRico had a dang performance. Like in his day, in his time, Rocky DeRico was just dang exciting to watch. That was really fun.
It was cool. It was definitely cool. So lots
I
of great people to see and enjoy. Zolt was out there again. I,
mm,
I didn't even know he was coming. And I passed him on the way. He was walking to the finals when I was going up to get some. I'm like, whoa, okay, what's up?
I'd
He
love to
was,
have a conversation with that guy again.
Boss was there. So man,
All that.
it was an action pack. Justin Ortiz, so many great competitors at this event. I'm sure I'm probably missing some.
Yo, I
Regina.
want one of those. I want one of those Ross Levine T-shirts.
Yeah, I know. I didn't
So,
even get one. Uh,
well,
Regina
Ross is listening to the show.
bought
Ross,
40
if you
plus.
got one of those shirts, just tell me. All right, I'm not even asking for a handout. Just tell me. I'll shoot you. I'll zell you.
I tell you what, I didn't even get to speak to Regina every time she was either fighting or she was coaching. And I love seeing her being the coach for ATL. I think it's great. And I'm looking forward to the future of that team. They have some great young talent that continue to make big surprises. So,
I saw her coaching in the open weight, and she had some guys. It's weird because on camera, like I can't really tell how the coaching is going.
right.
And sometimes I can't even see the coaching. I can't even
Yeah.
see the coaches. So that's why that's 100%. Like it's not the same unless you're in the building,
Right.
for example.
So a couple of things. So we're going to stick with the senior side just right now. I'll go ahead. Sam Diaz won the forms 30 plus. I won the weapons 30 plus grand. Both of us won that. Andrew Cabalon won both the weapons and the forms for 50 plus. Let's see, for the 50 plus women, I know Roxanne won for the forms. I'm not sure about the weapons. Someone could help me out with that. And then the 30 plus women, again, it was in that room there. I'm not really sure. Andrew, you may know more than me, or Brett, who won.
Roxanne, that's Gabrielle's mom, right?
Yes, yes.
She's got a dang good front kick.
She does.
Which sounds like an odd move to say. It's like, oh, it's a good move. But she really does. Like her body doesn't move. She's got a fantastic front kick. Right? It's better than mine. I'll say that.
So she won the 50 plus forms grand. But yeah, so lots of great talent in those rings and in those rooms. Again, the junior talent this weekend, we're putting on great shows. Lots of big winners. You had Amanda Duarte winning 2. You had Gavin Dollar Height. Sorry, someone who I've seen since he started martial arts.
Who's hollering for $1? What?
And I'm just super proud of him for winning that one. You got, let's see, the forms. You got Wasim won in that one over Henry. You got Avery Presley won her weapons grand. And I'm missing one more. The 13. Oh, and then Michael Molina won both the forms and the weapons for the 1300. So lots of big things there.
Can I say something about your performance?
Malachi, hold on one second. I know Malachi won. Made it to stage for his first time. That was awesome. But he also won his grand for fighting. I didn't get to see the 16, 17 grands for fighting, but I know that there was a lot of big great fights for that. I was getting ready on that one. I mean, yeah, 3rd year in a row winning double grands. That's awesome. What's up, Alex? Say something.
Okay. Your weapons.
Yeah.
You should just do commas all the time.
That's what I did this time, man. Yeah, just commas.
I know. It's by far, like, listen, you're great at other weapons. Okay.
Yeah.
Chucks are good. They're very good. Your commas are so much better.
Oh yeah. I mean,
it's not even, I don't want to say, like, it's not just that, like, all right, you're better at that weapon than the other. It looks so much cooler. And your kicks look better while doing commas as well. You can set them up better. Everything is just stronger.
I agree.
You just have such a better performance doing commas.
I agree. It felt great. I tell you one thing I'm proud of is that this is my 3rd weapons grand I've won, and I've won it with each one has been with a different weapons or weapon combo.
What are you going to do now, Rashad?
So AKA I won with the comma, finishing with the nunchuck, right? With a single nunchuck. At Toronto, I won with just nunchucks. Rhode Island, I won with just Kama. So I enjoy it. So, okay. Ashley won weapons from CBR. All right. Awesome. All right. Let's get into this before we have our special guest. Let's talk about the best back fist of all time.
This is guys, chime in with your top 5 back fists. I mean, this is a hard move, right? Because like we said, everybody can do it. Everybody's done it. Everybody's scored with it. Who's the best? Correct. So
I'm trying.
I had to like limit my honorable mentions.
I wrote some down on the plane, and I don't think I wrote them in my phone. Let me go get my journal.
Your journal?
Yeah.
Listen, I got some. I'll keep going. I got some honorable mentions that are going to be. Listen, in their time, if you froze time when they were competing, they might have had like the best when they were competing, but that's not what we're talking about. We're not just isolating to, one series of years. We're looking all time. So the one thing I'm going to tell you that I did not factor in, that is not going to be, you can leave it in yours, Jeff, if you want to. I don't have anybody who does back fist to the body.
Oh, no.
And I actually was really thinking about it. Like, there's another back fist that I'm like the duck under back fist.
Yeah.
I really thought about it, and I'm like, who did it? It was a move that, again, everybody could kind of do. Everybody's done. Who did it the best? I don't know. And I don't think it was the reason why I didn't factor it in that much, as I don't think it was that much of a game changer. I think the time that it was a game changer was maybe like a handful of times, So I don't think it was really one that I was like, we really need to factor this in. This could make them an honorable mention, and I just don't think I had it. But
yeah, I have a hard time with that one right now. It's honestly my yeah. I mean, it's tough, dude. On a lot of these, really, the order for me is hard.
Robbie Lavoie did have a good duck on her back. Well, he didn't have to really duck that much.
All right,
it was a little unfair. All right,
let's get to all right. Do your honorable mentions. I'll do mine, and then
if we do it, we should just do it and go all the way through.
All right, go. You go first.
All right, I will do my honorable mentions. I'll go through quick, and then I'll do my top 5. Okay, honorable mention, just badass dude in general. Awesome step-in back fist, Damon Gilbert. Very good. I actually did watch Damon when it was not legal to do, right? Front hand of the body. Damon would do it. I watched Damon multiple times do it in NASCAR multiple times, but hit it so hard that he still scored. And I'm like, wait a minute. How are we doing this? Right? Another one, similar style, Anthony Price, right?
Yeah.
Not his best move, right? He's got so many other moves that are great, but he was fantastic at it. Now, this guy is, you could argue, should be in the top 5. I didn't put him there, but Kodak Ray, the way Kodak would jump up and back fist, right?
Yeah.
Another guy, now that I say that, probably would be Willie, because he did it the same. I think Kodak just did it more. All right.
Yeah.
Another honorable mention is Jason Grenier. Right. Jason Grenier is just awkward. All right. Jason knows exactly what he's doing. Right. And Jason's good at what he's doing. You don't know what Jason is exactly doing. And his technique is unique to him. He knows it. You don't. But he had a really awkward one.
And it's also rare for Canadians. Canadians always have great reverse punches, right?
Well, and he has a good one too.
Oh yeah.
But this guy's just got a weird back fist too. Now this one, when his career's over, he could be in the top 5, and that's Tyson Ray, right?
Yeah.
Tyson Ray, and he had his timing with his back fist this weekend, fantastic,
Mhm.
right? Now this is a different back fist, the defensive back fist, the jump back fist. All right, can't get
We're
a
seeing that more and more these days.
yeah. And I think probably the best person who does that is Alonzo Payne. All right,
Okay.
this guy, and I train with him a lot, right? And that is the thing that I'm like, I'm not getting hit with this thing. All right. And this is one that people don't really know much at all, but Ashley Ferruzzi. Ashley Ferruzzi she had an amazing back fist. So there was times, it's so funny. Sport Karate Legends is mentioning BJ Carnahan. Listen, there would be training sessions where BJ Carnahan and Ashley Ferruzzi are fighting. In the days where BJ would knock everybody out, all right? And Ashley, no shame in her game, she would step in on BJ, all right, when BJ was like 245, with like 6-7% body fat, all right? And she'd just step in on him, all right, hit him, and then try it again. But then he's 245, right? And then kicks, and then she just flies across the room. And I'm like, how are we just allowing this to happen? Like we're participating in this too, right? Those are my honorable mentions.
Okay.
At number 5, competing now, badass Cam Dawson, right?
Right.
I make comments like, this dude probably trains by back fist and bricks, right?
True.
This one at number 4, super sneaky fast, all right? Can do it in a lot of different ways, but Brian Plemple. Plemple, off the line.
One of the best ever.
You could argue the fastest off the line. You could make an argument for it.
I could go back and forth of him being the best. Like, it's just, yeah.
This one I do think is better than Brian. At number 3, I have Terry Kramer. Terry Kramer threw it almost like a chop, right? I watched because he was, I don't know, I would love to know what kind of hand pad he wore, but he wore one where his hand was clearly open, right?
Yeah.
But it looked like the whole hand was padded, and he would throw it this way. He'd do it over he would come this way. We'd bring it downward, right?
Beautiful.
Terry, I remember watching as a kid and thinking like, oh, well, that would be awesome to be able to do that, but I'm not bigger than anyone I fight, so I can't do that, right? Now this guy.
This is your what, number 2?
This is number 2.
All right.
Can't be number 1 because number 1 is number 1. But this is right there, is Avery Plowden. Now, Avery Plowden, here's the deal.
Oh, we got Jotty on here. Whoa.
But let's stick to Avery Plowden. I've fought multiple times, and every single time I'm like, do not get back fisted. Do not get jam back fisted.
Right.
Keep this arm cemented like this no matter what happens. Do not get jam back fisted. He's going to find a way anyway, right? Because you have to be, if you're kicking at him, that is, you have to be perfect just to not let that in, or just don't kick at him. All right. And then a guy like me is not going to kick. Okay. Sure.
Sure.
All right. I just immediately give up my best weapon. All right.
Correct.
Because I don't want him to use his best weapon. I'm not going to voluntarily give that up. All right.
Right.
So that's how much impact he can have. All right. And if you're wondering like, oh, I don't know if I've seen him do too many, go back.
Yeah.
And watch 2014, AKA Cass Sigmund, Avery Plowden. And he puts on a clinic. And Cass Sigmund had a great tournament that weekend. Yeah. He had a great weekend. Now, Cass was also coming off an ACL surgery, but he was back and he was competing and he was looking great. And Avery just said, not today. All right. And that was his first Warrior Cup. But number 1 is number 1, and that is Steve Nasty Anderson. All right.
All right. There you go.
He went, and everybody said he won all these fights. He went years without losing.
Yeah.
It was because he had dominated not just this move, but he was just so much better at that move than everybody else. All right. When we say like Brian Plemple might have been the best off the line, all right, the fastest off the line, That's what Steve Nasty Anderson did. Steve
Right.
Nasty Anderson was just so quick off the line, right? He was so much faster than everybody at the time, right? And
Right.
went years not losing primarily because of that move.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
Bailey Murphy cannot be on the list for this because if you had to go, what's Bailey Murphy's best move? I don't even think you could pick it because you can't because
No,
he's just that good. He
Right.
does everything great. And
And
it's
I
hard.
think
It's
the same
hard
thing
to
with
say
Bailey.
like, oh, well, you're not giving him all the credit he deserves. Possibly I am. All right.
Right.
But he's just so damn good.
Yeah, so I'll go with my honorable mentions because I have some of those names on there that I feel like are so that can be great at everything, and they just have, again, I'm going to start with someone that people won't know, but it's my instructor, Lawrence Arthur, because when he was going
Okay, I
around,
like
he would,
this.
back in the day, there's videos of him just doing this and holding up and just like it was
I
hilarious
miss
seeing him just
those days.
hit
The
people with
hold
the
your
back,
hand up days.
holding it up and just run around the ring. I got you. It's like old school stuff from the 70s, 80s. Just seeing people do that. I miss that. It's hilarious.
People
But
should bring back the raise the hand.
Oh,
People
yeah.
should do it. They should bring it back.
Another one that is it's different. I think it goes in this but you were even saying that with like Terry, kind of like a chop. Billy Blanks, I wouldn't call it a back fist. It was like a hammer fist.
Okay,
But
I could give you that. That's a good point.
It was dangerous. It was beautiful. It was a great one that he had. So Billy Blanks, the back fist / hammer fist. Another one, again, I just think Brian Roof could blitz anyway, just his hands, any of his stuff. I just put him on here as an honorable mention.
Early Brian Ruth for sure.
Yeah, exactly. Damon Gilbert on there, like what we talked about. Jotty Tension on there, like what we talked about. Again,
Yeah, I probably should have had Jotty as my honorable mention.
and again,
really
Jotty and Bailey, like to me, I just think of them overall as great blitzers. So like I just think of the whole package, right? Another one for me is because he does it in such that old school way of the dive, back fist, reverse punch, blitz. I have to put Jack on there as my honorable mention as well.
I thought about it.
Because of that, right? And he hits people with it and he scores with it. So those are my honorable mentions. But actually all of my top 5 is like I think the same as yours.
Really?
So not the same order. But Cam Dawson, number 5. And then I put Avery Plowden, number 4. Number 3, Brian Plimple. All right. And I have it the other way around, just for me. Nasty can be number 2 on the list. It's fine. Number 2, Nasty. Number 1, Terry Kramer. Terry Kramer had the best back fist I've seen, and the way he did it, and he didn't have to move that much either and hit you with it, right? Like he could blitz you with it. He could stay where he was and hit you with it. He could jump. He could do everything. So Terry, Nasty, Brian, Avery, Cam. So those are my back fists. Again,
Brett's got a great point too. Listen, this is a move where we're gonna miss some people. Gerald Dawson is great.
And then
Raymond Daniels is great, but listen, that's another thing. It's the same thing as the Bailey comment in the sense that they're all-time greats. All right. Jotty, you're 100%. Right. Yeah. It was. But he would do it the ones that would like he would come off angles where especially if he was fighting a left leg kicker, right? When someone's coming at him and he'll angle off the backside, boom, and then he'll hit him. Like if he were fight Trevor or Roman or Preston, somebody like that, where he would angle off the backside, boom. But he would do it almost like he's doing a blitz. So maybe I'm just discounting them because in my mind, I'm looking at it like it's a blitz.
It's a blitz, yeah.
That could be my fault. All right.
Yeah, I mean, again, I think this is one where next week we give a whole different list. Like seriously, like or you go and watch video and you're like, oh crap, But I think
I'll tell you now, there's no world where now, like, I'm not gonna put Gerald Dawson on there, as an honorable mention at least.
Correct. Yeah, you're right. He covered so much distance, Johnny. You're right.
Well, Johnny, let's first of all. Awesome that you're here, by the way. Yeah. But let's say the same thing for you. All right. You did the same kind of thing. All right. But people I'm only saying what you said to me. All right. People used to say, Johnny was so fast, Johnny's so fast. And then you said it's more of my timing, it's more of my decision making than it is so far the speed. But you were not slow, my friend. You were not slow. You were fast. But you covered a certain amount of ground as well. All right, doing that. So yes, you're absolutely right. The ground you cover, it's hard, but then it's the exact opposite. If you think about what you're talking about, Jeff, it's the exact opposite. Like you're talking about Terry, it's just like it's a textbook, class book move, bam, right? Whereas now someone's using that move in an extremely athletic way.
Correct.
Yeah,
Correct.
I think that's where I got to analyze that. I probably did. I discounted it because I looked at it like it was a blitz and not a back fist.
But again, Alex, this is why I love this segment that we do, because we're giving look how many people we showed love to today that sometimes don't get it, right? So
yeah,
I love it. All right. We're gonna invite the women's open weight champion, Savannah. There she is. Welcome.
Savannah, set the record straight. Say your last name for us right now. That way we never ever mistake how to say it ever again.
Yes, it said Woleniuk.
Okay, now you got to say it another time.
It said Woleniuk.
Woleniuk.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
That's what I was trying to tell you, Jeff. I was trying to say that. I was saying Woleniuk.
Yeah, you got it.
See,
So,
I was right.
So all these years when I used to coordinate events when she was like a kid, her and her sister, and I would be saying, I would mess it up so many times, but I swore I had it right. I thought for years I had it right, and no, I didn't. I was doing it wrong.
It's okay. You're not the first, so it's okay.
Awesome. All right, so how are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. Feeling
Congratulations. Great weekend.
Yes, it was. Very good weekend.
So let's go into all right. Let's get into the big story before the tournament even happened. You know, as far as when I was walking into the tournament, there was a meeting happening, and I immediately text Alex, dude, I think hell's frozen over. Okay. Pigs are flying. Mike Conroy's wearing a straight up shirt, and they're having a meeting over there. And
And what did I tell you, Jeff? What did I tell you it looked like?
Get a picture, bro. Get a picture.
Yes. I said it looked like an April Fool's joke. I'm like, this is an April Fool's joke.
Yeah, the picture I took.
Someone is messing with us.
Yeah, it did look like an April Fool's joke. It really did. So what was your feeling going into this tournament with all this newness happening with the team?
Honestly, I think it was a great start to the weekend. We definitely got amazing pickups with Sam and Mike, both great coaches. So I think that's a huge asset to our team for this weekend. And then we also got some great pickups like women's, men's, and then juniors as well. So it definitely helped set us strong for the weekend. So yeah.
Yeah. Now, how did that feel? So you fought with Kayla, right? Kayla,
yes.
for the first time. I mean, I'm sure maybe you guys have done it in the past, but was this the first time team fighting with her or what?
Yes. Yeah. First time team fighting.
All right. So how did that feel? What was that difference like?
Honestly, it was great team fighting with her. She's super fast and definitely a great person to team fight with. She'll get the points and stuff like that. So.
All right. So this next thing, so we talked a little bit about it. Let's just share how crazy that ring was. Okay.
Yeah,
I mean, we don't have to crap all over all the judges, but let's just say what are some things you thought could have been handled better in that ring?
Before you get to that, I want to share like my experience in that because I'm over here. I wasn't there.
Oh, right.
First of all, joining Travis on the Twitch stream while watching it was awesome experience. Travis does that again. I'm going to do it. I will quit work just to do that, right? Because that was fun, right? That was how I got to watch it. But all right, continue. Go ahead.
I don't know that there's always going to be like discrepancies with judging and stuff like that. So it's definitely hard. I don't know what to say. What are your thoughts on it?
well, let's give you parameters.
Yeah. So I think
you don't have to be nice.
Yeah. From what I saw, just a little bit that I was there and from everything I heard was just there need to be more control. and I think there was a couple people that were put in that maybe should have been corners that should have been center or vice versa or not, and it just got a little, there was some, just some things that got heated because of that. Right. So, and I feel like sometimes there's judges that are there before for forms that should be moved out and bring in the fighting judges for that. They do that on stage for the men. They were rotating like 6 judges for the men, and they weren't doing that for you guys over there for the teams, So I think that's the biggest gripe that I'd heard, and that just needs to be put in consideration.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree. I think sometimes there are CATA judges left when it is fighting and stuff like that, but having a strong center helps a lot because then like the exchanges and everything like that are a lot faster. It's if somebody gets carried away with an extra punch or two, like it's brought back to the center, it's reset and everything like that. So it doesn't get too carried away. And there is control within the match and everything like that. So
right. Hold on before you. So Alex, hold on. All right. So watching that this weekend, all right, it made me it was giving me flashbacks of why I love that in NASCA, they actually bring the fighters back to the lines where they're supposed to be at. Yeah. So I don't know if you remember, I'm telling you, Alex, in AAU Taekwondo, in their point fighting, they don't do that. When it
breaks, stop you wherever you are,
and you keep fighting. So there's some times where the people on the opposite ends, they're scoring their point. And I'm like, well, which side are we doing? But everyone has either the red band or the blue band. It gets so confusing. I don't know how points don't get so screwed up, but
wait,
yeah,
what you're trying to say is let's say Savannah is fighting me and she gets me in a corner and she kicks me in the head. Shocker that you would do something like that, Savannah. But anyway, they just stop you right there and leave me sitting in the corner.
Yes.
And then just say, go.
Yeah. So, and so
what kind of madness is that?
It's crazy. And then think of someone who's really good at defensive side kicks, right?
You're right, man.
So if they do that, they step back. Now they're in a bad position. Now, the one thing you can keep moving around that center while they're staying, it's the craziest thing ever. So that's the one rule that I can't stand. And for watching it, I'm like, how is the rule, so this weekend, it made me okay, you know what? There are things I love about our sport, that we do that
you don't know unless you go out and you see.
Right. Exactly. All right. So Savannah, tell us about just your track to the open weight win, your path.
Yeah. So it started on Friday. So I had a fight on Friday. I was feeling good on Friday, so I won that fight. And then
against who? Do you know who it was against?
No, it was a girl from KMY, the Quebec school.
Okay.
So I fought her, I won that. And then I did my team fighting division on Friday night. And then on Saturday, I fought Maeve first on stage. And then I fought Karina, and then I fought Kate for the finals.
Wow. Awesome. So all Canadians, huh?
Yes.
That's awesome. That's all. Now, what did you say?
You call her Kate?
Yeah, Kate, Katarina, Katie.
Well, you got to remember, they see each other all the time,
Yeah, we train together.
All right, well, that's great. Well, okay. Since you just mentioned it, how often do you guys train together? Just curious.
We train together maybe once a week. So on Sundays.
So that's often. Yes. So that is often. All right.
So on Sundays we kind of have an open mat. She doesn't train because Trevor owns United Family Martial Arts, so there's a bunch of different locations. So the one I train at, she comes down to on Sundays for an open mat, and we train on Sundays.
Okay. So yeah, that's often.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So yeah, you had a route, and you didn't. I mean, it wasn't the bracket worked out just perfect for you.
Right.
No, you got it. So this was so funny. I was texting with somebody this weekend, obviously about the tournament, and we're going back and forth. And someone was talking about you, and they were like, Savannah might be this, might be that. Someone was saying that you might be a better kicker than Kat, I'm gonna say her name's Kat because that's what you said, right? You don't comment on this, by the way.
Okay.
But then they said, but she doesn't make it as far as Kat does. Like if she beats her, she doesn't make it as far. All right. So heads up. That's just what people say. All right. And so, but then that was early in the weekend, by the way, when I got that text. But then it's like, no, you went throughout everybody and then capped that off as the final. Like that kind of puts it in as like, yeah, I did it. This is it.
Yes.
Look at me. I got it. Because I'll be honest, like that was something that I had with guys that I would train with all the time. I trained with a guy, probably don't know who he is, but his name's Greg Betlock. Seriously, one of my best friends ever. I was in this guy's wedding, right? We're in the same division, all right? I didn't want to beat someone more than that guy, all right? When I would beat him, I didn't make it as far as he did. When he beat me, he'd fight for the final, right? That was but that was the MO on us. So that's why it's like awesome that you made it. Not only did you make it all the way to the final, but you beat her in the final. Then it's like, listen, guys, no, you should start looking at me now.
So what were your emotions in the fight? I know like there was, like an arbitration at the end. It took a while to decide a winner. Did that change anything as far as like how you felt when you're ready to win? When they finally announced it?
No, I was honestly just super focused throughout the whole fight. I think with me starting off the fight, getting the 2-point kick kind of helped me like during the fight and everything like that. And then even at the end, when he said it was going into overtime, I didn't see any of the commotion happening around and stuff like that. So I just took it and went for the final point. So
that's awesome. That's awesome. So what does this win feel like for you? I know Alex kind of said it as well. It's just like for you getting, and again, you've had wins over her. You've had big wins in the past, but right now it's kind of like getting over a hump that maybe you recently, right, over the past year that you've been trying to get over. Just share that.
Yeah, no, 100%. So it's definitely a huge win for me. I've gone back and forth with her a couple of times, but this one was kind of on stage and everything like that. And it was a big event. It's a great event. So it definitely was nice to take home the win and everything like that. So,
so what, does it bother you? Let's just go into it. Does it bother you, that people, kind of maybe forget, or they say, well, Savannah could be the best, but like what?
I literally got that text. She could be the better kicker, but I just read it straight off. Does that even bother you? I don't even think it bothers me.
A little bit. I think that's why this weekend felt great too, because I've heard it too, that I am the better kicker. I've heard people say that to me. So to be able to prove it and take home the win this weekend was definitely great.
All right. So what did you don't have to share it, but what did Coach Greenhall say to you after the win?
Yeah, he was definitely super proud of me. He said that he knew I could do it and everything like that, and his support and everything goes a huge way. Even Mike after the fight was very supportive and everything like that, even throughout the weekend. So that definitely helped get me to my win as well. Same with Sam too. So.
I'm going to tell you now. You got a handful of coaches there that like when you do it and you really show up and you got a performance like that, they'll make you feel like you could literally run through 3 walls.
Correct.
Right? And Joe, he's still Mr. Hype Man, right? Like you hear him everywhere you are you know where he's at all times in the tournament, right? But listen, coach will do that to you too. When we say coach, when we say coach, we're talking about Conroy. Yeah, that's what you're going to call him too, by the way. So, 100%. And Sam is one of the smartest guys when it comes to breaking down fights that you're going to have. But you got to break through the French Canadian though. I'm lying.
So who coached you most of the weekend?
I had a little bit of everyone. So Mr. G coached me, Sam coached me for some teams, Mike coached me, and then Bailey coached me on stage as well. So
Okay. All right. All right. All right. The question then,
Uh-oh.
what was it like when Sam was coaching you?
it was good. I enjoyed Sam as a coach. I've never had him as a coach. Definitely, he's always been on the other side because I've fought his fighters before and everything like that. So it was definitely different having him. Definitely different having him on my side of the thing. But I look forward to kind of building the relationship with him and everything and seeing where the coaching goes.
What about Conroy?
I've never really talked to him before except for this weekend, but his words of motivation and stuff like that before the fight, even though we hadn't per se built that relationship, were huge. His perspective on things, his wording of everything is amazing, a great perspective, and yeah.
Can you say what he said?
Oh yeah.
Can you say what he said?
He was just telling me that I got to believe in myself and that we are all here to believe in you and stuff like that, and you can do it, and just a bunch of stuff like that along those lines. So yeah.
That's awesome. Now I'm sure has Trevor ever shared with you about Conroy as a coach?
Yeah, it's funny because Conroy was talking about it this weekend. He was sharing a couple stories. And then I saw Mr. Nash. Yeah, I saw Mr. Nash today and we were talking. I did tell him, I was like, did you hear the news? And he was like, no way, and he couldn't believe it. But he said it'll be good for the team and everything like that. So
yeah, that's awesome. I think that's what most of us were like, wait, what?
Yes. Yeah.
I literally said, this looks like, when I saw the picture, I'm like, this looks like Jason Borelli, Jason Grenier, and Joey Greenhaw are about to team fight together, right?
Yeah.
And it's the year 2006.
Yeah, it was wild. It was wild, but it was definitely a cool start. For everyone to be like, all right, what's going on? And I think for you really pulled it together with this win at the end for that team. I mean, you had that the biggest moment for your team over the weekend. So I thought that was awesome. So go ahead.
It helped that Bailey won before and Dwayne too. So we had a great weekend overall.
Yeah,
so.
They won their overall individual grands, which I felt like was a great way as well for both of them, especially Bailey. I know, he wanted to win this overall, this open weight, and then not to win teams, but to come back and win those. That was great for both of those guys. And then you to finish it off was awesome. I know we have this tournament, literally we could do 2 shows on it because there's so much going on, right? I mean, even the men's open weight was wild. Did you get to watch any of that?
I was able to watch a little bit. It's just women's teams was happening at the same time. So I kind of tried to watch a little bit, but I didn't get to see much of the bracket at all. So
yeah, I just saw the very last exchange of Bailey and Enrique, and I do think I think you guys were still fighting during that time.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I was watching that. And yeah, I mean, I tell you, we got to give it up to Enrique for his performances all weekend. Congrats to him. He continues to just keep growing as a fighter. Was there some people that stood out for you all weekend that you watched?
Yeah, I don't know, just men fighters. Dwayne was really great this weekend.
Wow, time. What do you mean you don't know about the men fighters? What are you talking about?
No. She said just men fighters that were standing out. Yeah, but she did say that Dwayne. Okay. Yeah. Go ahead.
Right.
Yeah.
No, he had a great one.
Yeah. So I think he had a great weekend. There's a bunch of fighters who had a great weekend. Yeah.
So you don't have to give all your secrets out, but when you see, is there a certain fighter that shows up at a tournament and you're like, oh man, all right, this is the one that's hard to fight, or this one's a different style for me? Is there someone like that?
No, not really. I kind of expect most people, like certain people to like the higher level ones to kind of be at all the tournaments and everything like that. So I'm expecting to see them. So like leading up to it and everything like that, I'll do some training, just situationals and stuff like that for individual fighters and everything like that. But
All right.
Yeah.
Let's play a game.
no.
I'm going to throw some names at you, just a couple. And then you tell me, all right, how do you fight them? What are you going to do? Okay?
Okay.
Brianna Nurse.
How do I fight her?
Yeah. What are you
Okay.
going to do?
I'm gonna be aggressive with my leg and try and not let her take control of the center and get her on her timing, like of moving backwards and cutting off the ring and stuff like that.
Okay. Yamena.
I'll clash legs with her, and then because I think I have a stronger leg than hers, just like size-wise and stuff like that. So using that to my advantage definitely helps in matches like that.
Katana Everett.
To be honest, I've only ever fought her once.
Really?
That's
Well,
crazy.
Only
you got
once.
ring experience. Now
So-
you got winning experience. What's
Yes.
your game plan?
So definitely, I don't have much experience fighting her at all. But we did have a good fight when we fought last year. So.
You're not
Awesome.
giving nothing up.
Oh no! Like
Don't need it. Don't need it. Don't give in. Don't listen to Alex. You know.
Don't
He wants you
listen to me.
yeah.
You shouldn't be listening to me right now.
I know that's what.
Thanks, Ty.
Yeah. All right. So, well, you've been around for a long time. So again, if there's let's say a fighter, is there a fighter from the past or someone that you grew up watching that
That's a
isn't
good
currently
question.
fighting that you would like to fight or you would just like to see fight again?
It would never happen, but Chelsea Nash would be a nice comeback.
Yes.
That's a great
Yes,
name.
back in the day, training with her a little bit was definitely cool. But
Why do you
missing-
say it'll never happen?
I just not with. I don't know. Trevor has said that she doesn't plan to come back. I think. Like,
Okay.
don't quote me on it,
Just
but
curious.
I
I mean, I don't see that it's going to either, but just
yes.
curious if you had any other info. If you haven't
Yeah.
figured out, sometimes I pry.
Yes, I can.
Oh, that's a great name. That's a great
Yeah,
one.
That's a great one. Yeah.
Who?
No, he just said, yeah, that's a great one to say. I mean, for me, I would love to see you and Claire fight. That would
I
be
was gonna
awesome.
say the
Claire-
same thing.
Yeah, Claire.
Yeah, she's a good
Proposed
fight.
Busman. Did you fight her that year that she came back at Amerikick and fought?
No, I don't think so. I think I fought them in teams. I don't remember, to be honest, though. But I never.
But you
sparred.
you must have fought Lily or
Yeah, I don't remember 100%. So.
okay. Awesome. Yeah, that's a good one. You know, I mean,
Really
Regina's out there still fighting. Regina's out there still fighting. She apparently was thrown down in that room, in the 40+ room. Someone tried to late hit her, and that didn't work out too well. So
Yeah, did you see that, Savannah?
No.
yeah, I didn't see
Jeff-
it. I heard about it. I didn't. I was in that room. I just if Brett wants to share, because he apparently was right there watching it. But apparently, it didn't work out too well.
From what we have been told,
Yeah.
right, that there was a clash. And this person was fighting Regina, began to get frustrated with not just the fight, but calls. And then late in the match, decided to the rear elbow Regina, like after the clash.
Wow.
It's a bad business decision and a poor health choice,
Right.
right?
Yes.
Both of those things went bad for that individual after the fact. Regina's not someone to be messed around with, right?
No. Now, Savannah, you probably spar with this lady a bunch, right? Or have, Elise?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I remember watching some of those when I was there for a weekend for teaching seminars and stuff. And yeah. Now let's share this, because right now I think most people, because they see you, they see Elise, they see Katarina, and that's that kicking style, right? Now, I've known Trevor for a long time. He always had a really creative kicking style, but it evolved over time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember when maybe he started changing the way that he taught you guys?
Yes and no. I think he's always stuck to his roots. There's some variations that he's taught us, like after watching film, like and stuff like that from the weekend or whatnot. He's told us some tweaks that we can make. But I think his roots with our chamber and everything like that has stuck all throughout, and he is kind of
Yeah, I just remember it might have been maybe 2014, 15. I just remember where he started doing more of a, not really even bending the knee as much, really holding that leg out there. And really, you see some people, it's almost like a front kick chamber.
Yes.
And so it's, that wasn't always like that. He had a kind of more of a universal one, but in some people, this is still, it's just a different variation of the universal chamber, right? But it's cool to see how he's changed that. And I remember I went up there to do a kicking seminar, and I'm trying to make sure I'm not messing up with this chamber. Like, okay, well, this is how we do this. And I'm like, okay, I love that. And it was really cool to see that. And that actually helped me a lot too, with some of the ways that I teach too. So let's just share with that about like learning from Trevor. What's that like?
It's definitely great. I think I'm like one of the only who started with Trevor. So I started when I was 7 at his head school. And
How old are you now?
Trevor. I'm 22. So I started with Trevor and have been with him ever since. So it's definitely kind of interesting to see like the different training back when he trained to kind of like him dwindling out a bit. So like I've gotten a bit of each kind of phase of him. So it's definitely been a huge part to me being able to kick the way I kick and everything like that.
When did you realize, what age and like level did you realize that like, wait a minute, my instructor's one of the better guys to do this thing?
Definitely like pretty young. Once I kind of started watching him fight, and like he would go to tournaments and everything like that and come back, like it's almost like we kind of take it for granted, not realizing
100% people
just
do that.
training with him, like back when he was in it fully, like 4 times a week. It was just like, yeah, I'm going to his class. Whereas some people are like, I can't believe like you still train with him and everything like that. So
yeah.
Well, and that's the thing, is you can have the greatest competitor in the world, and he could just be running a club, and they just will have no idea that this person is really one of the best in the entire world, because they just have a small club. How are they to know? Why would they ever know? Right? Or they could have a legitimate, viable business that has multiple locations.
Right.
Or you could be Trevor Nash and you could have both.
yes, exactly. And
but let's not throw any shade to Casey, right? She's a part of this organization.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
That's one I always love watching. I always love watching her fight. I know everyone, I mean, to me, she's the greatest female all-around competitor. She's their best all-around competitor, maybe of all time. To me, she's my favorite. But watching her fight is always fun.
Yeah, because she would always do that. Like she had a great combo of like punch rich hand combo. It was like bang bang.
Yeah,
right?
getting hit with it in training is.
Does she still fight and train with you?
She used to train, yeah.
She's fit as it gets.
Oh yeah, but her punches are pretty solid. So
yeah,
damn.
And she doesn't care if you throw a counter side kick; she's still coming with her hands. So
yeah, that's what it is. It just keeps going and going and going.
Well, she has to. Wait, what if she like held off just a little bit and you sidekick? She's gonna get launched, all right? So she has to, like, she's got to make the business decision too, and she's
Yeah.
got to go all the way through you, right?
Yeah, she'll take it. And,
Yeah, one of my favorite fights ever was her and Chelsea at Kumite Classic, and I was one of the judges, and I had the best spot for it. But I think it took her about 10 years before she forgave me for giving the last point to Chelsea. But it was like overtime. It was intense. It was a great one.
She
Oh,
don't
man.
forget nothing. Remember when
No.
we had her and Trevor on, which was amazing that Trevor would do that, right? Because he don't do stuff like that, right? And she was still recalling like certain things that are like she's just never gonna forget.
Right. Oh yeah. So all right. So overall, what do you think of it? Well, besides winning all that money, so like 4,000 American is probably what, like 5,000, 6,000 Canadian, right?
yeah, I think it's like 5,800 Canadian. 50.
Oh, nice. I wasn't that far off.
No, our dollar sucks right now. So
Yeah. Yeah, it's better than what Tobias told me about the Argentinian dollar. So
that's fair.
he said like 1,000 is like $1 for US. It's like, wow.
What?
Yeah. So it's crazy. So
It's like going in bot or something like that.
right. Oh my God. All right. So next tournament is Quebec. Is that the next one, or you got something else?
Yeah, that's correct. Next time is Quebec.
Next one's Quebec. Are you doing mostly the NASCA World Tour events this year, or are you going to hit up some different things as well?
I'm definitely doing NASCA this year. Ideally, my plan is to do maybe a WACO 1 or 2. It's just hard right now because I'm in school. I'm just finishing up school, so it's hard to get the time off to travel there. But yeah.
What are you going to school
Did
for?
you?
I'm in teachers college.
Okay.
So
I love how they said teachers college. Yeah.
yes.
Everything's different in Canada. Okay.
Yes, everything is. So
Awesome. What were you going to say, Alex? You're frozen.
yeah, he's glitching.
Look at him. That's wow. We're going. What? Sorry, I just enjoy every time Alex glitches because his faces are the best. They're hilarious. All right. So, Savannah.
Reason. Yeah. Oh, thank you very much. I'm glad I could entertain you.
There you are. Go ahead. Ask what you're going to ask.
Well, what I was going to ask was, because you started asking about WACO, Jeff, did you do like the Canadian like national event?
For no, I
Because they
didn't.
have a Canadian national team. Like,
Yes.
has it happened yet?
I'm not quite sure. It either happened or it's like up and coming, like within the next month or so.
Then you're not gonna. Well, then you're not gonna go.
No, that was not my plan to attend. No.
Well, I guess my follow up with that is: do you see yourself doing any national qualifiers to go to a world championship this year?
Like with what circuit? Sorry, or
Either there's
in-
WKC,
yeah,
there's
WKC,
WACO, there's WKU. You tell me which one you're planning to do, if any.
Definitely WKC Worlds is in Niagara Falls,
Yes.
which is 30 minutes from my house. So I am planning on attending that one. We have our regionals are this weekend coming up, so I'll be there at that.
Okay. So your plan is to do the WKC national events and then the world championships,
Yes, that is correct.
but not the WACO one.
No, I have not.
I want to see this though. Savannah versus Tina. Yeah, I agree. Sport Karate Legends. That would be a great fight.
Would be.
Maybe Bristol, would be a way to do it. That way, if you're not gonna, do WACO Worlds in Dubai. Awesome.
Have you? Wait, let's lean into this WACO thing.
Yeah.
Bit more. I really am. I am compelled to ask a little bit more. Have you done a few WACO events yet, or no, or just
Yeah.
not yet?
Yeah, the past 2 years, I've done the Bristol Open.
Okay, good.
And then prior to, I went to Irish Open as well. like
Oh,
prior to COVID. Yes.
That, or did you do the COVID year?
I did the COVID year as well. Yes.
Okay, so I just feel like you would have enjoyed that experience so much. That's not your takeaway, huh?
No, I 100% did enjoy it like a lot. I love Wacko events and stuff like that. It's just with school and stuff right now, like I'm just kind of restricted a little bit.
They don't know what to do. They don't know what to do when you kick them in the face.
Yes.
They have no game plan. They're like, I don't know how you make this video game character. What game plan am I supposed to come up with? The only thing I know is I'm supposed to jam backfist him in the body, or I'm supposed to sweep him. But you stand 6 feet away, they can't do either, and you just kick them in the face and you win.
Yes.
Because they've never seen you.
No, I know. I enjoy fighting the European fighters. Their style is definitely different from here. So I definitely want to expand a bit more and kind of go over there.
Awesome. Well, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to that. All right. So, Alex, I think what we're going to do is next week we're going to talk more about the men's side and some of the form stuff. I think that's going to be
we got to get into that men's open weight, and we got to talk about the men's divisions too.
Yeah,
right. Today was not the day for that, but
No.
I've got some hot takes. Hot
Oh, wow.
takes.
So
I think
guys,
it'll be
get
I
ready
think it'll be
for
good for the sport, but definitely tune in. I got hot takes.
All right, so Savannah, before we leave, we did, and you probably heard because you were waiting. We did our top 5 back fists, right? Okay. Here's one thing though. I don't think any of us had any women on that list. All right. So when you think of back fist, who are some of the women that had a good back fist?
Like currently?
Well, you can do currently or some other
All
ones. that you
time.
can
We
think
win
of.
of all time. So
We did of all time, but yeah.
I'd say like currently in the sport, I think Jimena has a good step in back fist. I also think Paula does as well. So those are kind of the top 2 I'd say right now. Brianna also has a pretty good step in as well. So.
All right. Anybody that you can think of growing up watching?
No, not off the top of my head.
I know. It's tough. I was thinking about it too, trying to figure out, some of the top ones. And honestly, I think sometimes, I'm sure there are some that we just can't think of, but
I had Ashley as an honorable mention, and that was it.
that's right. Ashley is, Ashley. Yeah. I mean, it's a tough one. All right. So congratulations, Savannah. You killed it this weekend. Excited for your future, all the accomplishments you're going to have. Also, the new journey with the new revamped Straight Up. And I know Joe is really excited about it, about the future, and excited to see what you guys do. And, not only do you have him now making sure you guys work hard, but now you got Sam and Conroy as well. And dang, I mean, you could go to 3 camps now, like,
No.
I mean, the way Joe puts on his house is wild just from the stories and the pictures, right?
It's amazing, yes.
And
Yeah.
I've been the ones that Conroy has put on, and they are so intense, so crazy. And I'm sure that Sam has the same. So
You're at the right time in your career and at the right age to really dig deep into this is what we do now, right? So yeah, Jeff, you're right about Conroy. Conroy is it's so fun because when it's done, you'll look back at that and go, that was not fun. Right? But then you'll talk about it for the rest of your life.
right.
Yes.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, congrats, Savannah. We are super proud of you, happy for you, and we will see you at the next event. Congrats, and spend your money wisely or save it wisely.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me.
No problem.
Thanks for coming on. Don't make it a one-time appearance.
That's
I won't worry.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Awesome. All right, man. So we're gonna wrap this up. Thank you all you guys for joining us tonight. And man,
Yo,
we had a
for real,
great
though.
show. Great
real.
to what? No,
When we
what?
start talking about the men's, like I was watching them deep, and I'm like, we need a dramatic overhaul. Like
Yeah.
I just when I looked at it, I'm like, there's just no way I look at that and think it's got to be something different. Oh wait, totally right.
Yeah, totally
Morgan
right.
Plowd. Morgan did have a really good back fist. That's a good point. Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
I'll give you that. Fantastic. I
True.
can stand corrected. Back to that. No, we got to talk about the men's divisions,
Yeah.
the men's open weight, because wow, did that have some excitement? But I think we are overdue for a massive overhaul when it comes to fighting.
Overhaul.
Ha ha ha! Really?
No,
Oh.
I can drop it in now, director, if you want me to.
No. If y'all, whatever y'all want to talk about. But I know I was just going to mention real quick because I heard you mentioned it earlier about the Twitch stream.
That was so fun.
Yes, let's talk about it.
Yeah. So the Twitch stream will be happening a lot in the future. So we are under Twitch. I'll put it right here. You guys are Jeff.
Yeah.
You know you're live now.
Yeah, I know. I just tried it.
Yeah.
What
No.
you talking about?
And one of the things that was cool about it, I was on there a few seconds ago, and you can make clips real quick, right in the middle of your stream. So that's gonna be
cool.
That's gonna be helpful.
Gonna be very
But yeah, that's what are going to be that's our name there. So go follow that. We will be live at a lot of these events. Tuning in,
Oh,
going
yeah, look at
straight
that.
out. Yeah, so going straight and talking about it, and it's going to be a lot of stuff that's going to be going on over there. So follow us on Twitch, and the TikTok is coming as well soon. So there's a lot of stuff coming up soon. So yeah.
Let's
Go
go. Let's go.
All right, now you guys can go back to your stories, and I'll just leave you guys alone.
Thanks, Travis. Oh man. So we got lots to look forward to. Let's just so next week we're going to talk about men's open weight or the men's side, and then also talk about more of the form stuff. I have some takes. I have some things to get off my chest. So do other people. Also,
I forgot about that too. This would have been like a 4.5 hour show if we
Yeah, I
could
know.
go in.
and then what is going to be our technique, guys? So we did a fighting technique this week. We can do a combo one. We can do a forms one. We can do. What are you thinking? Give us some hints in the comments, guys, of what technique you want us to cover next week.
I
And
think we
then
can go back and
or-
forth. We can go fighting's forms,
Yeah.
and tell me what you think. All right. There's a lot of different ways where we can go, but we can go with like a basic technique. But I
That can be-
think we should go a little bit more extreme. What about a twist?
Hmm.
Or actually, I really was because I've been thinking about this a lot. The flash kick.
Okay.
W-
Dang.
It's still done all the time.
Yeah, that's a really hard one. I mean, there's
It's
some
a,
that
it's
there's
it's
some
a
that
hard
like,
one.
you won't forget. So yeah.
Yeah, there's
Uh,
like 3
yeah.
in my mind that I will never forget.
Now, when we say, are we saying a regular flash hit, or can it be variations like?
I think it
Uh,
can be
it's-
variations.
yeah, yeah.
I think it can be variations, and I think it doesn't have to include the round off,
Like a standing flash? Okay.
like a standing flash.
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
leave it up to interpretation, because we're gonna have a few honorable
Yeah.
mentions that don't
Right.
don't crack the top 5, which we
Right.
don't list them in order. But what do you
Right.
say? You say we go to the flash kick?
Let's do the flash kick next week.
Flash kick. Flash
All
kick is
right.
next week, guys.
Let's go. Come with your list. All right, Alex.
That'd be a good one. This has been another episode of Inside Scoop with Alex and Jeff. I'm Alex Dingman.
I'm Jeff Doss. See you guys next week.